Welcome to Ōamaru!
Well, we have decided to stop and enjoy this beautiful sunny weather that we have here down on the east coast of Te Waiponamu, the South Island of New Zealand. It's a little place called Ōamaru, and I never really thought it was as interesting as this, but we're going to show you around because we've just taken a drive through and there's loads to see here. Now, Oamaru is actually the self-proclaimed steampunk capital of New Zealand. That is that kind of post-apocalyptic, industrious styling that you see some people dress up for when they go to festivals and stuff like that. And you're going to see loads of examples in and around where we're walking through Oamaru.
Starting to look like a movie set, this town. It is really unique and cool and a bit of a New Zealand hidden gem. I had heard of this town, but never as a destination to go to as an international tourist, but maybe, I mean, it seems really popular today, there must be some kind of event on, but as a domestic tourist, someone around the South Island, then maybe it is a place to go. But just look at this. It looks like we are walking down a Victorian movie set.
Very artistic here, isn't it?
Yeah, I like this big door.
What is it?
A Victorian arcade, let's go.
Wow.
Isn't this cool? A genuine prescription book from 1900. Wow. We had one of these the other day, didn't we?
So we've just found out as well that there is a jazz festival going on in town. That is why there is so much happening around the place. There's like a market, there's all the bars have seating outside. We've actually got beautiful weather and there's some music to be had. So let's go and check it all out.
We just stepped inside to one of the pubs, and inside it's just as fabulous as it is on the outside. They've really kept the culture and the heritage of this town.
You can see what I mean about the steampunk heritage here in Oamaru. I'm not sure where this comes from. Maybe it's just because it is such a interesting, unique place. But yeah, steampunk culture is alive and well in Oamaru.
21 degrees and sunny, just the way I always wanted.
Got some jazz music playing there. It's really good, actually. Loads of bits and bobs in here. So many cute little souvenir shops here, but actually with really nice stuff in, not your usual crap. There's actually some really cool stuff. What the heck have we found? Oh my god, I'm scared. That's pretty cool.
Okay, we have come to Steampunk HQ here in Oamaru. What a cool place. I had no idea that all this stuff was here.
So So this place is like a well-preserved museum. It is really beautiful. All the buildings are really stunning. And we've come to learn that in the late 1800s, this town was actually as big and as busy as Los Angeles, California. There was a huge financial boom here.
I think they were doing lots of limestone from the region, and then also they had lots of grain. And that's what all that stuff down by the port is. All of those buildings are grain stores and wool stores. So they had a big export operation going on here, and that's where a lot of the wealth came from. So they were able to build all of these amazing buildings with like Grecian columns. They look so out of place here in New Zealand, but they're just sitting right here on the South Island. It's so random, but so beautiful.
And then unfortunately there's a bit of a financial economic crash in this area due to commodity prices. So people started to leave and the harbour itself became too small for larger ships, so then sailors weren't coming, and then this place became a dry zone, so there's no alcohol, which meant no sailors at all. And the whole place just turned into a kind of abandoned place and a complete shadow of what it used to be. But thankfully the building still remained, and now it's just like a open museum really to walk around and look at all these museums. It is obviously a normal town, but they have really capitalised on the beautiful buildings here and the history, and that is the reason why tourists come here. It's because it's so wonderful.
So here is the main street of Oamaru, and you might be wondering, why is this street so wide? Well, simple fact, it's because of the exports and imports they had here. They were actually run by bullock trains, cattle-driven trains, and because they were so long and they had so much cattle pulling those trains, they needed the street to be so wide so that they could actually do a U-turn around the main street area where they needed to turn around. So that's why we have this huge, wide open street here for the bullock trains.
A bit like the Wild West, isn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely like the Wild West. And look at these beautiful columns. We've got this afternoon light now, which is just streaming across these buildings, and it's really showing them off in the best light, because look at that. It's just so odd to find this in a random town in the South Island.
It's just so beautiful. If you showed me a picture of that scene, I would never guess this was a small town in New Zealand. It is one of the nicest towns I think we've come across in our whole travels around New Zealand. I think because of the beautiful architecture around here, which is rare in New Zealand, like everything's so clean as well. It does feel like a model town, a movie set that I mentioned earlier. They are really looking after this place, and good on them because it's beautiful.
During the boom of Oamaru, it was very, very easy to raise capital to build all of the infrastructure here, to build these buildings and the railway and everything. But then once the price of commodities got too low and we started to see a downturn, and that also coincided with the end of the gold rush era here in the South Island, well, this place kind of became abandoned and left all the buildings to be uninhabited for about 50 years. And look at this garden, just in the middle of town. Beautiful flowers. I really must commend Oamaru City Council, or whoever the council is that does the work here, because it's just gorgeous. It's so beautiful and so nice for us to come for a little stop off on our road trip as we head back up the South Island.
Ooh, that's a nice building.
Very beautiful. That's the Criterion Hotel, and it's just in front of Oamaru's world famous Harbour Street, which is where we walked before with all the grain stores and wool stores.
British flag, get in.
But the afternoon light casting its shadow across that building just emphasises all of the detail. It's very, very intricate stonework on these buildings. I guess it's a testament to the Victorian era and their prowess, their skills and their ingenuity. We actually parked down by the waterfront when we stopped here in Oamaru, and we had some lunch down here. There's a really cool little cafe on the front here, and they've got this park with loads of really, really unique, rides for the kids at the playground. There's one of them is like this huge penny farthing bicycle. They've got a huge slide. there's a steampunk digger, there's an elephant slide. There's a lot going on there. So yeah, if you've got kids, this is probably a great place to come. You've got the beach here as well. Pretty well protected here by the breakwater here. Got some big waves coming over the breakwater, but the beachfront here down at the Galley Cafe. It's a really great little spot. All right, down on the beachfront, it is very windy. We have an onshore breeze, which is just blowing all these waves in, and you've got a really, really stony beach, which you can probably hear as the water rushes over it and drags all the stones back against itself. But that is not a beach that I want to swim in.
I don't really like the thought of my little penguins being in that water. A load of birds.
They're not penguins.
No. I don't think little penguins can get their legs up there. We have come to the spot now where you can see the little blue penguins in Ōamaru, and if you want to see them, like definite 100% you'll see them, you have to book onto a tour in the evening. Woo! High tide at around sunset, and that's when they all come back from feeding. However, if you come in the day, you can just walk around for free, and they have these little houses, and we just peeked in. I think there's some penguins sleeping or nesting, but there's a grandstand there, and I think that's where you must go if you book onto a tour. But we are here too early to see them, but we think we can spot one sleeping, and we're gonna have a little look around all their houses so we can see any more. Seals!
Oh my goodness, there's seals here.
There's loads of huge seals here. I didn't realise, just turn the corner, there's so many. And you're so close to them. Hi everybody.
Well, it looks like a really, really well organised place to come for a tour. If you wanted to see the penguins coming, you know, out of the water as sun sets, then definitely book onto a tour here. We don't have the time to stay here till the sun sets, but with the seals, you've got the grandstand, and then you've got all of these little penguin huts as well. I'm sure you are guaranteed to see some penguins. Well, thank you for joining us on this surprise little adventure to Oamaru. We only stopped here to refuel and resupply, and we found a hidden gem. So next time you're in the area, definitely make a point to stop and explore all of the Victorian history of the area, as well as the local history. Enjoy, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Have you seen my baby? She's not a dame nor a lady. Not in the way she walks, the way she talks, or the way she